I bring that up, obviously, is we've got a team preparing to take on Lamar Jackson in Louisville in the TaxSlayer Bowl that is undergoing change to a certain extent. Can you, even though there was general stability there at Mississippi State in the coaching ranks when you were there, you can definitely relate to what these guys are going through, and just a new voice in the room, who's taking over. I don't even know who's the coach for the bowl game. You set us up for that situation and put us in the player's position.
Okay, so Greg Knox is the longtime running backs coach. He's going to be the interim and going to head coach the bowl game. You'll get a kick out of this too. He had a media session today. I wasn't there. We were on the air, but David Murray, who's been covering state there for many, many years, he sent me a copy of the transcript of their Q&A with Coach Knox. And one of the questions was, after 20 some odd years of being an assistant, are you ready to call plays and like maybe even do some of your, and so in a kind of a gleeful way, he told them, I've got a bunch of new stuff. And so he told this story. He said that he went in there in front of the team the other day. They were putting in game plan stuff, working on some plays. He said he walked up, got the marker, and just drew up an entirely new play and said, boys, this is what you can do when you're the head coach. You can put in a new play and nobody can tell you otherwise. And so he said, you know, he's having some fun getting to be the guy where nobody really questions what he wants to do. And so I think he's having fun with it. But I will tell you, from a player's perspective, as you ask, it is it's an entirely different experience. It's taking what they're used to in their routine and turning it upside down on them to go, okay, your position coach is no longer here. Okay. We're going to practice with you for 2.5, 3 weeks. And your coach is going to be this guy who was a GA. Okay. So now he's going to work with you for the bowl game. Or in some cases, this is a coach over here who's been in the off-field staff. He's not been an on-field coach. He's maybe a former high school coach who's a part of your recruiting staff. Well, now he's going to be your position coach for the bowl game. So it's just when this kind of thing happens to a team, it really does throw the players for a loop. And kind of their one thing to escape all the abnormalcy, or if that's not even a word, I just made it up, is to get on the practice field and just practice, because then that feels normal, because you know the drills, you know all that. And so thankfully they're practicing now. But to pretend that there's not some huge advantage, look, Louisville's got a huge advantage. This is Greg Knox, interim coach, just basically a piece it together staff and pull some guys in just enough to do individual drills and practice and get through the bowl game against Bobby Petrino, Lamar Jackson. So there's a reason that Louisville is a favorite.
So all that makes total sense in regards to one team having the advantage, the upheaval of the other situation. I would love to see somebody run the numbers, and you'd have to do some serious research on coaching changes and even coordinator and position coach changes to figure out who was favored versus what actually happened, and try to put a metric on that. But it would make total sense that this puts Mississippi State in a difficult situation, taking on a very explosive offense, in particular, and an offensive mind on the sideline, as you mentioned, in Bobby Petrino.